Welcome! This video is a brief introduction to the Strengthening the Colorado Educator Workforce Pipeline Geographic Information System, or GIS map. The purpose of this video is to give a brief introduction on why place matters and how geographic data works as a primer for discussions on educator shortages and diversity gaps in Colorado. We'll discuss what is a GIS application, how it works, and provide a tour of the Colorado GIS map. Where a person lives, learns, and works can have dramatic impact on the outcome of their life. These place effects are the result of unequal access to resources and opportunities. In your own community, you may be aware of a part of town that is divided by a road or some other border. The people who live on the other side of the road may have less access to healthcare services, grocery stores, the homes may be valued less, and the schools have less resources. You can imagine that the students in these communities struggle with additional issues outside of the school walls that may be impacting their learning. These place effects can also apply in the context of educator shortages. Educators, like most people, want to work in a positive environment. For example, they may want to work close to where they live, have a good salary, and strong school leaders. There are systems that may also be impacting educator shortages and contribute to these place effects. For example, there may not be a nearby educator preparation program to supply new teachers to a school, or there may be more competitive job opportunities nearby. A GIS map will allow us to help see and unpack these place effects. Geographic information systems allow us to take multiple sources of data and visualize data on a map. It can help us see that access to high-quality educators looks different for different students in different communities. How does GIS work? Let's talk about some basics to help you understand the application before you use it yourself. First, let's introduce some GIS terminology. The first term is points. Points are unique locations that have an X value and a Y value to define their location. This could include schools, businesses, and historic sites. A line is a pair of points where one connects to the other and is often the natural boundaries in maps, such as roads, rivers, and railroads. The final term is polygons, an enclosed feature whose shape represents different kinds of data. It can also be thought of as an area. These are things like school districts, neighborhoods, and counties. Let's see what the terms look like. Here is a map of Colorado. Now we can see a number of points on the map. In this map, we see polygons, which represent the shapes of school districts. Now let's go through a set of examples to better help you understand what a point, line, or polygon is in a GIS application. An interstate is an example of a line. A school district can be a bit tricky. If it is one building, it could be a point. However, often school districts represent a set of schools, in which case it would be an example of a polygon. The Denver Center for International Studies would be a single point. Any given city is another tricky example. When the map is zoomed out looking at the entire state of Colorado, Greenlee would be a point. When we zoom in, we would see it as a polygon representing an area that has lots of subsections within it that we can break down further. Another important thing to understand about GIS is there are many options for how things can be visualized. There is various symbology that's used to visualize components on the map. This can include different shapes, colors, shades on a scale, depth, and dimension. The GIS map includes legends to help the user understand what the different shapes and colors represent. Now let's go through an example so you can understand how the GIS map works. Let's imagine we've taken Colorado's school performance rating data and symbolized the school points based on their ratings for the previous school year. The red points represent schools who are on a turnaround plan. The yellow points represent schools on a priority improvement plan, and the green points are schools on a performance plan. Overall, the school performance ratings only tell us one piece of the story. Now looking to the squares on the right, they represent additional data that we can add to the story. Let's say we bring some economic data, health data, labor market data, and other social factor data, such as the percentage of single mothers with school-age children living in poverty. Using GIS, we can layer these additional data sources that can help us begin to understand how these various factors come together for different communities. Now we can see the different challenges that are intersecting that may be impacting our lowest performing schools. These can help us better understand their challenges and work together across different agencies to address these challenges, such as education and health collaborating. Now let's take you on a tour of the Strengthening the Colorado Educator Workforce Pipeline GIS map. This is how it appears when you first open the map. A white pop-up box appears that provides some background on the purpose of the tool and links to additional resources to support the use of the map, including a link to this video. Click on the blue OK button in the bottom right-hand corner to close this box. If you would like to see the information again, click on the Introduction tab at the top left-hand corner. Once you've closed the Introduction box, you will see the map. In this view, you can see the polygons are the districts, which are currently shaded blue, and the points are schools represented by different color circles and squares. In the map, you zoom in to see a district or school more closely. You can zoom in and out in 3 different ways. First, by clicking the plus or minus sign in the bottom right-hand corner, using the scroll wheel in your mouse, or by double-clicking anywhere within the map. To return to the state view, click on the Home button in the upper right-hand corner of the map. If you would like to see the data more clearly behind an individual point or polygon, you can click on it once, and a pop-up box will appear that tells you the name of the district and the data that is currently shown on the map. At the top of the page, you will see different tabs. Each tab is a different dashboard that focuses on an essential question related to strengthening the educator workforce. Each dashboard includes a map with a unique set of data to explore. The Educator Mobility Attrition Dashboard provides data that explores patterns of educator mobility and attrition at the district and school level. The second dashboard, Labor Market, examines the relationship between hard-to-fill positions with other labor market data such as median household income, average teacher salary, and housing costs. The Incentive Programs dashboard explores the impact of different educator incentives on filling open positions. The Teacher Supply dashboard looks at the relationship between educator preparation programs and district hiring needs. This dashboard allows users to dig into needs by subject area such as special education. The District School Performance dashboard examines the relationship between district and school performance ratings and teacher mobility attrition rates. Similarly, the Student Populations dashboard examines the relationship between districts and schools' mobility and attrition rates to specific student populations. The Working Conditions dashboard compares school ratings on the Teaching and Learning Conditions Colorado survey to their teacher mobility and attrition rates. The last dashboard, Teacher Diversity, provides 3 views to prioritize where to focus efforts to diversify the educator workforce. The first map illustrates the percentage of Black, Indigenous, and people of color, or BIPOC students. The second map visualizes the gap between BIPOC students and BIPOC teachers. The third map illustrates the BIPOC parity ratio, which calculates the likelihood a student will have a BIPOC teacher. Now let's illustrate some of the functionality so you know how to use the map. On the left side of each dashboard, you will see the filters. These allow you to adjust the view and what data is shown on the map. For example, we can click the drop-down menu to select a particular data set to appear in the map. In this drop-down menu, you can select the mobility attrition rate for teachers, principals, or special service providers. These on-off buttons allow you to focus on a particular data set. Currently, you can see both the school and district level, but you can turn off one to focus on just the school level data. In other places, the buttons will allow you to toggle between different data sets, such as comparing mobility attrition rates to unfilled positions. The slider bars allow the user to see the data and compare it to another variable, such as specific student populations. As you slide the slider bar across, the data sets that no longer apply begin to disappear in the map. For example, if you want to focus on the teacher mobility attrition rate for districts with the percentage of students of color, you would move the slider bar to a higher percentage, and only the districts or schools with those rates will appear in the map. You can also type the minimum and maximum ranges. To return the view, click the Reset button. In the right-hand side of the page is the legend. The legend tells the user what the colors and symbology for the map means. Different symbols and colors indicate different information in the map. In this legend, we can see the circles and squares indicate schools, and colors indicate the different school mobility attrition rates. For the polygons, the blue color indicates the district mobility attrition rates. Some dashboards will include a detailed legend that further breaks down the symbology. You can find the detailed legend by clicking the tab at the bottom of the legend. In some of the dashboards, there are definition boxes. These boxes help to explain some context of the data displayed in the maps. These boxes may define terms or data sets. For example, these boxes explain the definition of what each school performance rating means and the district performance ratings. Other boxes define the difference between mobility attrition rates and unfilled positions, or describes the different educator shortage stipends available. In the Teacher Supply dashboard, we have additional tabs to view different maps that all address the teacher supply. The tabs are located on the bottom left-hand corner below the filters. The first tab is on Educator Preparation Program Endorsement Area, and the second tab is Educator Preparation Programs to Districts. This first tab looks at the different unfilled positions by endorsement and how many individuals graduate from each EPP in that endorsement area. The second tab explores where the graduates from each EPP are employed. This concludes our tour of the Strengthening the Colorado Educator Workforce Pipeline GIS map. We look forward to using this tool to unpack the opportunities to strengthen the Colorado educator workforce.